KLA, the Wanderer.
Hey, that's my intro, guys. For now. Yeah, this is KLA Cloud the Wanderer, and I have a special guest this afternoon. His name is Gifford Roberts, and he's a cartoonist, and he's working on his. Well, he finished doing this graphic novel called Dynamic Rat. If I'm saying that.
Well, Dynamic Rodent, and there's no L
Di-
in my first name.
Okay. How would you say it? Like
Gifford.
Gifford? Okay, Gifford Roberts.
But you're not the only one to add an L to it.
Oh, okay, Gifford Roberts. Where you from? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm from Paducah, Kentucky.
Oh, okay,
In fact,
okay,
Kentucky flag right here.
okay. No doubt. No, shout out to Kentucky. I'm here in the NYC. Yeah,
A little bit bigger than Kentucky, or bigger than Paducah.
yeah. You ever been to New York?
A couple times, but when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
I remember we went to, in like a high school trip, we went to see the Statue of Liberty, and I was like, yeah, that line's too long. I'll get another chance to see it. Never happened again.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you.
Certainly.
Yeah, I seen your Dynamic Rodent
Did
comic.
you ever get a chance to read it?
Yes, sir, I did. I actually did. I actually seen it. I actually read the second link you sent me, and I sent I read it. I finished reading it yesterday. Matter of fact.
Okay.
Yeah. I can tell you what's it about. It's now it's about this kid named Joey. He's a mutant rodent kid. I didn't understand, like, it didn't show like him transforming into the rodent though, like in the comic.
It may not have been clear.
Yeah.
Here, right here.
Yeah.
Right with the camera right there.
Yeah.
That's where he's transformed.
Okay. Yeah. I think I got that picture. Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah, he doesn't know he's been transformed.
Oh, I know. I noticed that in the comic book, like when his father, he was talking with his father, it seemed normal to the father,
Yeah, no one notices except Cody and him. Everyone else that they were at the scene of the accident, and no one notices that's the second issue. That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
And that's Cody behind him. No one notices he's a superhero mouse until he puts on his sock mask and towel cape and becomes Dynamic Rodent.
Yeah. No, I mean it was cute, like he had a babysitter, and he was protecting her, like later on in the comic from her boyfriend, Yeah. So like, what inspired you to do this story?
Okay, well, here's where I came prepared for this. This is the childhood drawing I'd made of the character when I was like in 4th grade, I think.
Okay.
So I was trying to draw Elmer Fudd. Or no, Yosemite Sam, and I couldn't remember what Yosemite Sam looked like, but I remembered he had a mask. Then I tried to draw a raccoon and couldn't remember what a raccoon looked like. So then I was like, oh, if I had a cape, it'll be like a mouse with like a superhero, and call him Dynamic Rodent. And that's kind of where that whole thing started.
Yeah. Growing up, I remember this character Danger Mouse. I don't know if you ever heard of that. Yeah.
Go put the image you just had up again. Okay, you see, everyone can see that symbol on his chest?
Right.
That was absolutely inspired by Danger Mouse.
Okay, that's cool. cool.
Because Danger Mouse has a similar. It's not the same, but it's got like the circle with the DM for Danger Mouse.
Right.
So yeah, you're the first person to catch on to that.
Yeah. Now, with the mutation, like, what inspired you to do the mutation?
Well, simply to have an excuse. Well, the story was originally when I was a little kid. The idea was there was these two conveyor belts in this factory. Well, the top one had like, what was it? The top one had bats, and the bottom one had roaches. And then that they were making bat-winged roach monsters, which again were the second characters I created there in the background.
Okay.
And so in the original idea that I had as a kid, the mouse got on that thing, like on the top conveyor belt, and then like when it landed, it squished the cockroach, and then so it became a human mouse type thing. Obviously, I think subconsciously there was a little influence from Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, come to think of it, yeah. I mean, I think they had mutated characters in Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
Baxter Stockman. Yeah, he turned into the
Ninja
Fly.
Turtles themselves.
Yeah, but they weren't humans. They were like, regular turtles and stuff.
You're probably around my age. I was born in 1980.
Yeah, I'm close. I'm 76. A little older than you.
Kind of close.
Yeah.
I don't know if you may have been too old to watch the Ninja Turtle cartoon when it came out.
Yeah, I seen no Ninja Turtles. Yeah, that came out like in '87. Yeah, when I first seen the animated cartoon series. Yeah.
So the original comic, Splinter was a mouse and a rat, and then he became a mutated human rat. In the cartoon, if you remember, he was originally a human.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So there were a few characters like that in Ninja Turtles, but I'm not a creator of Ninja Turtles, so I'm like.
Yeah, I never read I never read the comic like that. I would kind of browse through it. No, yeah, the Ninja Turtles. I never read it. I just used to. I've seen the comic, but I think I've seen a comic before I even seen a cartoon. But
So you remember the black and white Mirage comics?
Yeah, I remember those.
I'll be right back.
I remember those. Well, he comes back. I'll show some pictures of so.
Speaking of Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Issue 5 of the original series. I got this when I was a kid.
Okay. Damn, wow. That's a long time. Is it worth something now?
I got this as a teenager, but it came out in '85.
Okay.
So yeah.
How many comics do you collect generally?
I had a lot more when I was younger. A lot of them were given away. Then a lot more were thrown away when I moved a couple years ago. So I don't have too many of them. I got like 2 small boxes of them.
Oh. Did you always wanted to be a cartoonist?
Well, I always wanted to write comics ever since elementary school after creating Dynamic Rodent.
Oh,
Before that, I remember in like kindergarten, I remember thinking I either want to be a policeman or a scientist. And then I decided I can become a security guard at a science place. That makes both of them.
Well, what was the process like of creating Dynamic Rodent? If you can take us there.
Well, I told you like the original drawing was I was trying to draw like a Yosemite Sam. Then I couldn't remember what he looked like, so I tried to draw a raccoon because I already drew the mask. And then I decided he looked like a superhero. That's when I created him from the drawing I showed earlier. Now the process when I write, I do little, like, I come up with little note packets,
Yeah.
and then there's like little boxes inside the note packets. And those boxes are for ideas that I came up with that don't go to the story,
Okay.
but can go to another story. So then when I'm finished with this, I'll type them out, organize it into an outline, and then do a script.
Okay. Did you do all these like illustrations by yourself, or did you
The
have
only
help
one
from
I did
somebody?
was the cover of the first issue.
Oh, okay.
Well, I did a few others, but they specify in the issue.
All right.
Like this, I did the cover here for the first issue,
Okay. Yeah.
and inside, I give credit to the artists that worked on them. A lady by the name of, well, her nom de plume, I think would be the correct term, Millipede Lee, did the
Okay.
art in the one that you read. And Macarena Duarte did the coloring in it.
How did you meet these people? Like, could
I
you
have
tell?
never met any of them in person. I don't think I've even heard their voices. I I don't. Yeah, I've not even heard their voices. I've met them I found them on comic book collabs on Reddit. They were wanting to sell their services as artists or colorists, and I hired them, and they came out and they emailed me their drafts, and then I would email them to the colorist, and I get the finished copy back.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
So
it
then
was. No, I was just
what?
gonna ask. No, I was asking like, are they were like two people that worked on the comic for you, or?
Yeah, well, those were the people that worked on the first one. The second issue, which you showed a copy of a little bit ago, the cover,
Yeah. Yeah.
that was done by the colorist of that one was Francie Gouveia, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing
Yeah.
that wrong.
Yeah, you don't
And
have to
then
show the comic. You don't have to have it in your hand. Yeah, I could
yeah,
show like the comic, for
yeah.
you. Show the panels and stuff. So
So there's different artists and colorists on the second and third issues.
yeah, yeah, this is cool. Yeah. So like yeah, what made you like have like a relationship between what's his name? The mutant rat kid and the babysitter. Like what was that inspired by?
Honestly, I needed a reason for he was gonna be babysitted because he was a kid,
Oh, okay.
and then that would be a good damsel to rescue because it wouldn't be like a love interest. Well, not in the romantic type love interest to save. It's someone that was supposed to be taking care of you and protecting you as a child, and then you have to rescue them. The dichotomy I kind of liked.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, do you see this like going like like in the animated series,
Oh,
like
if
Ninja
that ever
Turtles?
happened, that would be cool. But I had no one's come to me with that idea. If anyone's watching with that idea from like Sony or Disney, call me.
No. So like in terms of like people like purchasing it, like how was that for you, like with the sales and all that stuff?
Um, Not very good. Issue 2 is available now on indieplanet.com. Issue 1 is free, and so I don't charge for the digital copies like he's showing from issue 1. I don't charge for those, but apparently I made 2 cents today from that. I'm not entirely clear on how. But I got a letter from an email from Global Comics. I have no idea why a free comic would make money, but I've not made much, but just about a handful of dollars. I've sold about maybe 50, 60 copies total.
Did, did, have you been to like a comic convention and like showcase this?
Yes. In fact, I debuted it at what was it called? Small Press Expo in Bethesda, Maryland.
Okay.
Uh, I had a friend that was supposed to go with me, and he canceled at the last minute. So some people from church went with me, and that was really sweet of them. And I debuted there, and the Smithsonian Institute decided to take a copy of it to put in their catalog or whatever, because they were one of the sponsors. So
Okay.
Dynamic Rodents in the Smithsonian Institute.
Okay. Like how long you been working on this though?
On Dynamic Rodent, I told
Right.
you when I was a kid, so about
No,
90, 91.
no, but like when did you decide to like publish the comic? That's what I
Oh,
mean.
when did I just
Yeah,
uh
how long you worked on the comic? Like just
well, once the script was done, it took about 8 months maybe with working
okay.
with the artists and such.
Yeah, that's cool.
But before that, it was written, and that was years before. And then you've got to, if you have access to the files of the, like you're showing, the very last page of it would be a black and white comic strip that I did of Dynamic Rodent from when I was in college.
Oh, okay. I just pull it up, and put these on my StreamYard. So, this is what I got,
Everyone
put.
likes that page, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so like how many like issues there are in
There
Dynamic
are
Rodent?
3 completed.
3 completed?
There
Okay.
are like 32 scripts written,
No.
and then
It
there's like 6 or 7 on, like in the note-taking phase.
okay. Like is the babysitter's ex-boyfriend is the antagonist mostly?
He's in issue 2, and then he kind of you'll have to read and see what happens to him there, but
Oh. Or
he's not in many issues after that.
oh, like what kind of antagonist that Dynamic Rodent faces?
In issue 3
Right.
is it fittingly called "Bully in the Schoolyard."
Oh,
His opponent is a schoolyard bully.
oh, okay.
And then after that, it gets kind of like there's a mad scientist that comes in later, whose name is Mad Scientist, and with the Mad as his first name and Scientist as his last name, he just felt he had no other career options.
Okay. Do you have like other like comic book ideas?
Do I have other like series ideas? No,
Yeah.
I would primarily just want to do Dynamic Rodent.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Uh,
pretty cool.
but it does get pretty expand. There's some stories later on which kind of don't feature Dynamic Rodent as much as other characters, so it kind of is an expanded world, I guess.
Oh, okay. What's so special to what's so special with Dynamic Rodent in your heart that you just focus mostly on it? If you don't mind me asking that
Oh,
question.
no problem. And pretty much I created it as a kid.
Okay. All right. That was like the only character you did as that when
No,
you was
no,
a
no,
kid? Oh,
no, no. That was not the only one I created as a kid. Even in the drawing I showed you, there was the bad guys that created right behind him.
oh,
And
okay.
then I came up with these like X-Men type in space characters years ago. I called Universal Defenders, which I had a lot of stories ideas for.
Hmm.
And they were basically good guys that went around acting as terrorists. And then 9/11 happened, and I was like, well, that wouldn't be a good look for a hero.
All right.
So
Yeah.
that kind of was dropped.
Yeah. I remember I used to like try to create characters when I was a kid, Sometimes I would like take other people's ideas and stuff and made it my own. It's, like in the comic books, like I would kind
Yeah.
of like draw like Howard the Duck, and I
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
yeah, like I would like mix them up with other characters and stuff like that in another adventure. Yeah.
You mean like
Yeah.
mix, like combine 2 characters into one, or like have them meet characters from other worlds, like a team up?
like from other places, from like
So like Batman meets Uncle Scrooge or something.
right, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I would do that. Yeah, yeah,
that's cool. Most
yeah.
kids do things like that. When I would play with my action figures when I was a little kid, I noticed that I would stop. I didn't always play with just Ninja Turtle figures or just GI Joe. They'd meet with each other. They'd meet the Transformer figures. So yeah, that's pretty much the same type of idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, what was it fun? Like just it probably was fun for you, but I'm gonna just ask: was it like really like tedious of just working on this comic, or it wasn't a big deal for you?
There's a lot of foreshadowing I put into like several, almost maybe about a third of it has in the backgrounds like foreshadowing for
Mm,
other stories that I've built up over the years, and I wanted to backtrack and put them in the story. So you won't if I did it correctly, you won't know what I'm foreshadowing, and you won't see the foreshadowing unless the other issues come out. Then you read it again, you'll be like, oh,
okay.
I see. If I
Yeah,
did it right.
yeah,
If I didn't, then
mm, yeah, yeah. You know what? What I mean, it's original. It at first, I read like a couple of pages, and then I was like, okay, this is different.
I will say that one thing that is from my childhood that's put in here, besides well, also Joey's mom is dead, and one of the reasons that was the case was my mom died when I was in childhood, so that was kind of, my dad was an attorney, so
Okay.
just like Joey's dad, so that's a relationship. But I also had a stuffed animal of an ET when I was a little kid, like from the movie ET.
Yeah.
So Joey has a NE, non-Earthling, one that you'll see in the first comic.
Yeah, I think I seen that the green alien, right? I think that's like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I did as much as I could, pulling up the comic book pages, because it was kind of a lot that you gave me, and I couldn't really. I had problems downloading it through my phone, so I had
I
to
got
like
you.
take a snapshot and kind of uploaded it
I'm
here.
not the
So
most computer literate of people, but I
yeah,
do the best I can.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what
Me
got
too.
you interested in doing this interview with about Dynamic Rodent?
Well, I seen you on Instagram, and I don't know, it just kind of it looked different, like it was cute, it kind of reminded me of a danger mouse or something, and I was a bit curious,
This is
like
the
who.
second time you said that, and it blows my mind. I've been interviewed even by a couple people that were from England, or well, the United Kingdom at least, where Danger Mouse was made.
Yeah,
And they had that cartoon bigger deal there, and you're the one who caught on to it. They didn't. I'm
yeah,
really
yeah.
impressed by that.
Yeah, nah, because I mean, I'm a cartoon guy. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a cartoonist, and that was like, I would say that was like my first passion of doing that. But as I got older, it seemed like it was like a fairy tale. I mean, I've taken classes like I did
Hmm.
like alternative comics,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, and
Like R. Crumb type.
like when people like create their own comic, you
Oh,
know,
okay.
yeah, write the story, just something
Yeah.
like you did and stuff. And I took courses in stop motion and traditional
Oh,
animation.
wow. So you're an
Yeah,
animator?
I try to be.
Then you ought to post some of it on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, actually, like over the years, I've did. I
Oh,
would
okay.
do it. I would do it through Muscle Women and stuff like that. Like have like the women flexing a bit.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that was one of the things I was wondering when you first contacted me. I was kind of confused. I was like, so like a person in like a weightlifting Like some female weightlifter wants to interview me about my comic is my first thought. I was like, okay.
No, yeah, I always had like an interest of bodybuilders, women bodybuilders and stuff like that. So yeah, so like I did have I do have like a YouTube channel where
Yeah.
I posted. I only post like comic book like artists there, but not it ain't too many people um gain interest of my channel. So like that one that I contacted you through, you know, KLA the Wanderer. Yeah, where I have like mixed people, like mixed things, various of things with female bodybuilder or interviews with comic book artists and animators and stuff like that. So
So
yes,
that's cool.
yeah,
If I can circle back real quick to Danger Mouse, I do want to point out. Do you remember how he lived under that mailbox
yeah,
outside? It was outside of the address where Sherlock Holmes lived.
right,
So when my dad took us on when my mom and dad, we all went to before she passed away. We went to England. And my
okay.
dad was excited to see the home of like the address of Sherlock Holmes, and I was like, "Oh my god, I get to see the mailbox!" And I was so disappointed there was no mailbox there.
Yeah. Yeah, that I mean, I do like the animation, the England
Yeah,
like England, the UK animation companies do. You know, they do. There's this other company. They do stop motion. They do certain things. I forgot the name of the company,
the
but
one that
yeah,
did Wallace and Gromit.
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure about Wallace and Gromit. I'm not. I I know that you know in the UK they do like a lot of stop motion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So you're from New York City. Have you ever been to the big comic convention there?
yeah. I've been to Comic Con like, but it was one time, like maybe what like 15 years ago or something like that. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
do remember when I visited like New York City as a kid or as a teenager with my school. I remember seeing an advertisement. This is long before DoorDash. I saw an advertisement in New York City for like sushi delivery, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love this town."
Yeah, I don't really eat sushi too much, but you know, but yeah, when I was at Comic Con at the time, I see my classmate, and he did he's a comic book artist. He did
High school
cause
classmate?
yeah, no, junior
Oh,
high
okay.
school. Yeah, he did like he worked for DC Comics and
Okay.
Marvel. Yeah, he worked on Batgirl when Cassandra Cain was
Oh,
Batgirl. Yeah, this was like in the 2000s and stuff. I had one of his issues. Yeah,
cool.
then I seen him. I seen him. He approached me in the train station, and you know I didn't really recognize him at first, and then you know I was like, oh okay, and then I didn't know that he was a comic book artist like that until I went to Comic Con. I was like, wow, somebody was even interviewing him and stuff like that. So I was like,
Oh,
wow,
that's cool.
yeah,
Well, I bet it was pretty crowded though.
yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, it was crowded. I remember a lot of people was dressing up as superheroes. Like girls was there, they dressed up as Shitara or other things. Yeah, yeah. But this was like years back. I could imagine now. Like do you ever think about see it? Do you think it's possible that you could go to Comic Con?
Maybe, but I'd have to have someone come with me because as you might have noticed, I shake. I've got
Yeah,
Parkinson's, so it's kind of
yeah,
difficult to move around a lot.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I mean, if I ever get an opportunity, I will. I told you I went to the Small Press Expo and I also went to a comic convention to show Dynamic Rodent off in Frankfort, Kentucky,
yeah.
which
How,
is Uh,
how was that like in Kentucky with the comic conventions? Is that cool?
the, well, Frankfurt's a smaller town than Paducah, so it was a pretty small convention. But I've always liked Frankfurt. It's a pretty place. It's where our state capital is.
Okay.
It was a nice little convention. There's also a Kentucky State Universities nearby, so there was a lot of younger people. That was cool.
Mm.
A lot of people in costume, like you said. But there weren't as many as the one in Bethesda, Maryland. Bethesda's just a much bigger city.
Yeah. Was you able to? Oh,
Well,
you was
go
gonna
on.
say something? No. Was you able to collaborate with other artists, like meet with other artists and talk?
There weren't really that many in the other artists in the Frankfurt convention, surprisingly. It was mainly people just selling like squishy or like whatever those are called, those little bobblehead type toys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like anything that you see at the Walmart or a toy store, that's what most of the booths were. I was kind of disappointed. Small Press Expo had a bunch of people debuting their own personal creations, and that was really interesting. I got to meet a lot of people there.
No. Okay. Yeah. What's the plan though for Dynamic Rodent? Just to work on more stories or anything
Well,
like
I'm
that?
trying to get more people exposed to it, get more people to do reviews of Dynamic Rodent, do interviews, get my the free comic more eyes on that. If you don't mind, you could post the link to it.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I actually, I think, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
I'm not sure you were ever able to get it to work though.
Oh, the link that you sent me. Yeah, I had an
The
issue.
one, the global comics.
Yeah, I could see what I could do. I could,
If you know, I'm wondering why it didn't work for you.
I don't know. Like, I remember I did it on my phone, but what I could do is put the link there. Yeah, I could go to your Instagram because I'm not on my phone. I'm in my computer.
Yeah, and
You
then
know.
on Instagram, there's also another link to where you can purchase issue 2.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
My goal is not as much to make money as it is on this, as much as just get people viewing it and get more people, because this is like a childhood dream to get people's eyes on Dynamic Rodent.
Yeah. Yeah. It got to be a passion to do it. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What was it? Was it always your goal to just create your comic book? Like, what was you doing? Outside of just like creating comics.
Well, for a while I was thinking of being an attorney because of Dynamic Rodent.
Oh.
Because I wanted, because copyright law had always been something very important to me as a kid. I was like, oh no, someone can steal my idea. So I did go to school for a couple semesters in law school for that, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you. I mean, any last words before
well,
we
I'll
finish?
let you end it with what you thought of Dynamic Rodent. Give your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was different, like
different how?
That's a good question. I think it was original. Like I'm like in terms of a mutant kid, with a rat rodent mutant kid, and he's in a way he's a regular kid, but he's just different, and so like he's trying to be a superhero, but he's not really good at it, and it kind of reminds me of me a little bit, try to do things and I'm not good at it, but I could just picture myself doing certain things, and it kind of takes time for him.
Yep.
And yeah, and
go on.
huh?
Go on.
Yeah. And so, you know, like just dealing, and so he encounters his babysitter, you know, they have like this relationship, this, you know, I would say like she's like
like yeah,
like a big sister type
Yeah.
of thing, and so he's protecting her. So
Yeah.
you know, yeah, from her boyfriend. Is that that's her ex-boyfriend, or that's I'm hearing a sound. I don't know.
Is that is it gone? Got it?
Oh, hold. Okay. Maybe it's my. Let me take this off. I don't know. I don't think that's coming from me. I'm not sure. I'm just hearing the sound.
Like speakers next to a microphone.
Yeah.
Maybe this will change it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Well, that's a pretty good assessment of the story. Try and get in frame. I do appreciate your time, and I hope that you will be reading the other comic, the issue 3, when it finally posts online.
Yeah, I will.
Did you ever check out the second issue?
The second issue? No, I think well actually I read some pages of this. Like, is that the second issue? Yeah. I remember you sent me that.
Yeah, if you
the boyfriend that he got like the marks and all that stuff.
Yeah, you find out why he won't be much of a character at the end of that.
Yeah, I will have to order the comic. Really, I have to buy it. You know, so I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Yeah. Yeah. Who did this? Like the artwork though? Like
Blyton White did the artwork, and Francie Gouveia did the coloring. And they did an amazing job on this.
Yeah.
And I'd highly recommend people check out their Instagram pages too.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you send me the link and I'll see what I can do. I could post it on the description or something like that.
The link to what?
No, to the artist that did this.
Oh yeah, I can. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate you.
It's been fun, and I hope you have a great day.
You too.
Will this be on YouTube or?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Send me when, update when you post it.
I will, sir. I will. Thank you.
All right. Well, God bless, man.
God bless.
KLA, the Wanderer.